OMG. Welcome back to another episode of Teach Me How to Sew with La Rose Home Decor Boutique. As stated in the last episode, we will be going over how to sew from the beginning to the end. Um, the way this is going to work, as I said earlier, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon, a long marathon. So last week we started, let's recap for those that have not watched the previous video or this is your first time being on live with me. This is actually my first time being on live. So let's recap um, about the things that we learned last week. So we're starting off from the basics. The basics are learning your terminology. You must. It is imperative that you know what your sewing terminology is. If you do not know what your sewing terminology is, it will be very difficult for you to understand the words that are coming out of a seamstress mouth whether they are someone that just sews in the comfort of their home for a business or just for a hobby. When they start spewing out different terminologies, you're not going to understand what they are. So how can you be successful with a project? So just say, for instance, if you decide that you wanted to tap into the sewing industry and you wanted to learn what how to, let's do something simple, a pot holder, but you wanted it to be a little fancy smartsy, and you find one, you scrolling on YouTube University, and you see all of these cute pot holders and you like, oh yeah, that is so cute. Or you just happen to be watching and you're like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Oh, I can do that. I think I could do that. I think I can make that. Let me save this video and I'm going to run to my fabric store and I'm going to come and we're going to do this. And then they get into what looks like them just sewing two pieces of fabric together. Once you start watching the video, you start hearing them spew out terminology, sewing terminology that you have never heard of before. You may know fabric, or some people say material, um, a needle, thread, things of that nature. Something simple. Um, it may be little things that you do know, but then they may get into, because this person that you're seeing with this fancy pot holder that has these cute little designs on it may have been sewing for years, and they're at a more advanced level where they can actually use more advanced terminology. And if you don't understand what they're telling you to do, um, it's going to be hard. There's a possibility that your project is not going to come out as great or like theirs, because you will find yourself maybe emphasizing on or cutting corners in order to make it look somewhat similar to what you see, but it's not exactly, because you don't understand what that means. So that's why we started with the basics, knowing your terminology. So, like I said, let's recap. Last week we learned. Come on, here we go. Last week we learned about measuring tools. We learned about the measuring tape, which is, as you can see, this is the measuring tape. I do have my phone with me because I like to use my phone to pull up pictures of said terminology, especially when it's talking about tools, so you can look to see what it is. So this is measuring tape. They already have their own little diagram figure of what a measuring tape looks like. It's flimsy, as you can see. If you look at it, it's curled up. It's flimsy. Last week, I actually had mine on hand. I don't know if I have another one here or no. Not sure. I'm not sure. But the other one is not. I don't have it close to me. But this is measuring tape. So we learned that it's flexible fabric or plastic measuring device, usually sold in 60-inch lengths. Um, it's usually used to take body measurements. You'll see people using it to measure the circumference of your head, um, your bust, your waist, maybe your arms, your thighs, depending on what it is that you are trying to make. Um, Another thing they said, that it says that when you are sewing projects for oneself, it is important to know one's own body measurements. Um, our body fluctuates in sizes. One minute you may be this size, one minute maybe that size. Sometimes people are smaller at the top, bigger at the bottom, or smaller at the bottom, bigger at the top. And so you just need to be able to measure. And this is the tool that you will use. The next thing that we learned last week is a seam gauge. I do have that in front of me. This is a seam gauge. If you can see, they are made different. Some of them have slots in between. Um, Let me pull up a picture of the one that they're talking about. The one that they're actually talking about, it is 6 inches in measurements with 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 3/4, and 1 inch margins in between the whole number. So I'm going to show you a picture of a seam gauge. And if it seems like I'm going fast, it's because we went over this last week, and this is just a recap. So this is what a seam gauge look like. Is if you can see it, in between, you can see like the 1 and 1/2, two, 2 and 2.5, three, so forth and so forth, so on. So and this one does go all the way to 6 inches, as you can see. That's 6 at the end. So yeah. Um, the next thing, I do not have this, but I can show you a picture. Yardstick. It is a 36-inch measuring tools. It does. We learned that the yardstick is easier for seamstress to use, after working with fabrics that are 36 to 45 inches wide, because seamstress usually use wider fabric because they're usually making outfits, dresses, pants, shirts, blouse, you know. And with that fabric, it's usually wider. So with a measuring stick, a yardstick, I'm sorry, you're looking at a 36-inch measuring tool. So also the yardstick doesn't move. If you put the yardstick down, it's going to stay there. It's not going to be flimsy like the measuring tape. So let me, for those who do not know or have forgotten what a yardstick looks like, let me pull up the picture. So this is a yardstick. The shoes away. This is a yardstick. It's small because it's actually on my phone. And as quoted, it does go up to 36 inches, as you can see. So start from 1 and go all the way up to 36. All right, transparent ruler. We learned that with a transparent ruler, it's easy when you need to mark off tucks, darts, pleats, and buttonholes. Because when you put the transparent ruler down, especially if you're using a pattern and it tells you to tuck this part or this or whatever, you can like put a dot, and when you measuring it, you can see through it. Hope I'm explaining this right, but let's see. A transparent ruler is clear and gives the ability to see through, which is useful for measuring. The transparent ruler is also used for easier markings of tucks, dart, pleats, and buttonholes to let you know where your pleats, tucks, and buttonholes should be. I'm transparent ruler for sewing. So this is, as we can see, what they call a transparent ruler. So yeah. And this looks like it goes, this one went up to 17 inches. I don't know. I think they come bigger. They said that you can, yeah, they could be purchased in various sizes. One of the first to purchase might be the 18-inch, as it can work on small or larger projects. So if you are thinking about buying a ruler, a transparent ruler, it's saying to buy the one that says 18 inches because you can use it for small projects like a pot holder or large. Hem gauge is the same as this, same as a seam, and it is made of metal or plastic, and it can be used to mark straight or curved hems. So that is what we learned last week. Now, oh Lord, I think I left my pens. Okay, let's learn. So this week we're going to learn about pinning tools. A second category for sewing tools is known as pinning tools. The pinning tools are used for various stages of the sewing process. There are various types of pinning tools. Some seamstresses prefer certain pins over others. I was watching a video the other day. Someone said they like the pins, the straight pins with the big balls on. I guess because it's easier for you to see where you actually put your pins at without accidentally sticking yourself. Pins should be sharp and smooth because you don't want it to rip your fabric, right? Or snag it. Keeping the pins in good shape will eliminate what I just said, snags in one's fabric or garment. Let me show you. You see this fabric right here? Do not ask me what type because I've had it for years and I don't remember. So this fabric is a type of fabric. As you can see the snags, you see the snags? This fabric can be easily snagged if your pen is not on point. Could I just say that? No point taken. But no point intended. It just came out like that. All right, straight pins are slender. See, My stuff is in my vehicle. And I'm just showing you pictures on using my phone to show pictures. Everybody should know what a straight pen is, right? But just in case, these, my dear, is what we call straight pens. See how colorful and pretty they are? Now just think, if you had to pin this fabric to pin it together or pin it to a piece of to a pattern, and you had pins with these ball points, balls at the top that's colorful, you'll be able to see it, right? You don't have to worry about sticking yourself. Okay, let's see. Straight pins are slender, straight, stiff pieces of wire with a sharp point on one end and have a blunt head. The straight pins are used to hold fabric together while one cuts and sews. They are also used to hold patterns in the fabric. Just said that. There are a variety of different types of pins, each having a specific purpose. See what I mean when I talk about terminology? Now, if you watched my first video, which I've checked, nobody has watched it. It was actually a video that was posted. I did not go live. This is my first time going live, as stated earlier. Um, you would know that I said we are learning together. I am not on here disguising myself as a professional. I am getting into the sewing hobby, the industry of knowing how to sew or getting the I'm trying to be a part of the sewing community. I guess that's what I want to say. And a lot of this, let me tell you, I was not aware of how many sewing terminologies there were out there until I was with my god sister at the fabric store. And she started, and we were talking about doing some slip covers for my mom for some pillows to surprise her. And she started spewing out all of this terminology. And I was like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. And then she's like, oh, I forgot. You don't sew like that. And I'm like, no, don't, sure don't. And then then we'll talk about something else, and then she'll go back, and then she'll just start spewing out, and she would be having a whole drawn out conversation. She was having a whole entire drawn out conversation with me about fabric and uh things to put under the fabric and this and that. And she's talking to me as if I'm on her level. And she's like, oh yeah, you can get this here, you can put it under there and do this and that, and it's called a such and such and such, and da 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 da. And I'm intrigued by two things. One, that she knows so much. Two, that I didn't know anything. Yeah. That it was so much to sewing other than putting this together and sticking it under this thing we call Miss Peaches. We gon' this Miss Peaches. Mm-hmm. We call her PJ Peaches Junior. My name Peaches. They call her Peaches. Her name is Peaches with a Z though. My name is Peaches with a E. Miss Peaches, PJ. So yeah, I had no idea what she was talking about. And she was like, oh my God, I got so much to teach you. I was like, yeah, you do. Because I have no idea what you're talking about. You just had a whole conversation with me, and I don't know what you're talking about at all, period. I'm sorry. What? And then she's like, hey, and we laughed it off. And then we'll go around the store, and we're looking at fabric, and we're trying to figure out what to do, what to use, what to pick, what colors, and all of this kind of stuff. And it was in that moment that I realized I didn't know nothing. Yeah, it's more to it than, oh, this fabric is so pretty. Let's get that and make a dress. Like, it's gonna be cute. No, it's more to it. So yeah. So I am not, again, coming to you as an expert. I am coming to you as your equal, especially if you are on here and you are trying to learn because you want to be effective in your sewing and want to be able to make projects that not only you, but when you wear it out or if somebody sees it, they can recognize what it is. Yeah. And you won't sew a pot holder and people think it's a dinosaur. You know? See what I'm saying? Okay. This is a judge-free zone. Nobody on here judging nobody about nothing. I am so excited that I can go live because if people that may come on my live that are experts would like to chat it up with me to say, hey, and such and such and such. And look, I am all for it. I'm all for advice as long as you are respectful. Don't come in my life with all that chitter chatter, that craziness, because baby, I will Google to find out how to block. Mm-hmm. Yes, I will. Just be respectful. I am open to anything that you have to say that is going to make this life productive because I may talk about ballpoint pens and just thinking that I'm hitting all the points, and somebody may be in the chat that says, hey, and also they have such and such and such and such. Oh, and guess what? By the way, guess what else you can use those pens for? You can use those pens for blah, blah, blah. And we all can learn to be like, wow, cool. So jump on here, And like I said, tell a friend, let somebody know, hey, teach me how to sew by La Rose. If you don't want to say La Rose Home Decor Boutique because it's alone, if you want to say, teach me how to sew by La Rose's on. She's live, Um, usually I did it today. I have a whole job. I am grown. I'm a grown up. I have a whole job. I work Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. I have a whole job. And sometimes I have a job, depends on how I'm feeling. But today I scheduled myself to come on here at 6 o'clock. So for those that are already subscribers, keep an eye out on when I post that I'm going to schedule myself to come in. And that way we can chat it up and have fun and learn together and encourage each other. I know this is probably the boring part, but hey, it's one of the most effective and important parts of learning how to sew. I promise you that. When you get ready to dive into it, whether you hand sewing or whatever you're doing, um, and you have to go to your fabric store to purchase some things, hopefully certain things that I'm saying will ring a bell when you see it. Oh yeah, you may be like, oh, I need such and such and such to be able to do such and such and such. Some of this terminology may click in your head. Say, oh, I remember learning that, and learning that we can use this and this to do this. Yeah, okay. You know, um, get a pen, get a notebook. I will tell you that pen, notebook. Take notes. Take lots of notes because um you will be able to go back and watch it, but it will be quicker to go to your notebook, your handy dandy notebook, and do this and read what you wrote versus watching the whole entire video. Um if you feel like I'm talking extremely too fast, that's why I'm so excited about this live because if I am speaking too fast, put it in the chat. Hey, could you slow down? Hey, could you repeat that? Because I'm able to see the chat. Can you repeat that, please? And I can repeat it. I can slow it down, take my time, see what I got to say. Or if you want to go back and watch it, you can go back and watch it and take notes, because you could push pause, you can rewind, you can fast forward. All right, let's keep going. Ball head pens are pens that have colorful heads which make them easier to see and handle. So we looked at straight pens. So let me find a picture. So let's find a picture first of ballpoint pens. And we're not talking about the pens that you write with. Okay, so the ballpoint, this is a ballpoint. The one in yellow, you see how short it is and how small the head of it is? That's a ballpoint. Then we have ball head pens, are pens that have colorful heads, which we just said makes it easier to see. So ball head don't have no head. See, I'm looking for this. I don't see, really, to be honest with you all, I really don't see the difference in the two. But this is supposed to be a ball head pen. To me, it's the same as ball point pens, but hey, what do we know? Because what I put it in is showing the same thing. So, all right. Quilting pens are used in quilting. They are often, I just did my job, often longer. And so we're learning that different pens do different things. Quilting pens. So if you can see how long this pen is, you see how long it is compared to the other ones that we saw? It's much longer. That's a quilting pen. All right. Silk pens are made of satin. Silk pens are made, silk pens is another one. That's another type of pen. Silk pens, two words, are made of stainless steel or brass. I'm wondering, is that the kind my mom used to use? But we're about to see. No sense of guessing. Let's find us a picture. Silk pins. I say pins. Yeah. Silk pins work well with most fabrics. Okay. I remember my mom used to use these things. Good grief. So this is silk pins. They don't have no ball on it, as you can see. They just same color all the way from the tip, from the rooter to the tutor. Now we have T pins. T pins, it's the letter T hyphen pins, P-I-N-S. That's where we're at. T pins have a large T-shaped head on them. These work well on loosely woven or thicker fabrics. We're learning so much. Now, I do have family that know how to sew. My mom made my clothes when I was a kid. I have an aunt, got a sister, aunts. So I can always, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer for to it, I can always go and call a friend and ask, and then come back to you all on the next episode. Now, when I show you this, if you are in this chat, in this live, and you are a female that have worn a wig or had a grandmother or a aunt or a mother that have worn a wig and put it on a wig head, when I show you this, it's gonna click. Because it clicked when I saw it, it clicked. These are T pins. We use them to hold down our wigs. But that is not what they are for. And you can use them for that, but you can use them. They were made for sewing. Okay. All right. Pin cushions. A pin cushion, I don't have mine in here, is a convenient storage tool for straight pins. Pin cushions come in a variety of shapes. The common pin cushion is in the shape of a tomato. I know if you see those cushy ushies made like a tomato, red with the little green leaf at the top, and have pins stuck all in it. So just make sure nobody's trying to cut something. This is the pin cushion, the tomato version. Pin cushion. But there are also some pin cushions that are worn on the wrist. My mom had one that was worn on the wrist. Let's find the one that's worn on the wrist. because it's easier to wear it while you're sewing it. And you know what I'm saying? You can do what you got to do. So they have different ones. You got that one. And as you can see, my phone, so you can wear them on your wrist. I'm pretty sure you can get them anywhere. Uh, Having a pin cushion on one's wrist is convenient for many seamstresses. Another type of pin cushion is a magnet, one that makes picking up scattered pins an easy task. So let's find. I feel like my mom had one of them too. I was hoping she would be able to come in live today, but I said if she wasn't busy. Or, oh my God, sister. But I guess they were too busy for me. All right, so this is a magnet one. So, pinning tools. Let's recap. We learned today about straight pins, ballpoint pens, ball head pens. We learned that they are one and the same. Um, Quilting pens. We learned that they're longer because they're used for quilting. Silk pens, they're usually made from steel or brass. They're like silver from top to bottom. They don't have the cute little balls at the top that's multicolored. We learned that about tea pens. Many of us have seen tea pens in our grandmothers, our aunties, our mamas' wigs. That's they'll be held down on the wig head, but they're used for sewing. They're used for sewing. All right, working well with loosely woven and thicker fabrics. And last but not least, we learned about pin cushions. We learned that they are a variety of pin cushions out there. You find the one that best suits you, that you like, and go with it. So I am so excited and happy that you all were able to come. And I'm also excited that this series is going good so far. We are at our second episode. Because I started so late in the week last week, I only did one episode last week. So this is episode 2. For those that did not come into the live, this will be on my channel for you to go back and play. I bid you to get some paper and pen. I bid you to get a notebook so you will not have paper scattered everywhere. When it's time to get on here and to learn and to take notes, you could grab that notebook. You don't have to be trying to find the paper that you started jotting down notes on. Like I said earlier, I'm going to make it, I might do my due diligence to schedule myself to be on live YouTube at a certain time. So that way everybody can get if I do it, I'm pushing for like 6 o'clock. I'm pushing for that. Can I guarantee that it's going to be like that always? Really not sure. I would like for it to be at 6, but don't quote me on that. But I will schedule so everybody have a chance to see. Come home, eat a bite, relax, watch it on your phone, watch it. If you don't feel like watching it live, then like I said, you could always go back and watch it and take notes and pause and rewind and fast forward and all that good stuff. But once again, I would like to say thank you for joining us. Teach me how to sew. We are on this long marathon together, and we are learning together on how to be effective and intentional with our sewing so that our projects can make us proud. Until next time, have a great night, better morning, and I will see you on the next episode. Until then, bye. Soon as I learn how to heal this grief. Every time I get ready to get off. Okay. All right. I'm gone now. Bye. Thank you for coming. Oh, be, look at God. Before I leave, subscribe. Turn on that notification button because that'll be the way. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's another way for you to know to get notified that I'm going live on whatever day and time. Turn on the notification button. Look, this is what you're going to do. When you click the notification bell, it's got a drop down. It's going to say all personal, whatever. Click all. All will be the one that you want to select because it will let you know anytime I drop a video or anytime I post, do a live. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get this channel up so that way we can be very, very helpful to a lot of people out there. And it can let people out there that don't know about this channel know about this channel. Because like I said, it's a no judgment. Girl, I know. I know my sister not about to try to come up here. She tell me why she just text me talking about okay, 6:43. I am about to be oops. I'm about to be out. I didn't say what I had to say. But anyway, I'm taking it slow. So, I don't want to bamble. Look, I can be on here an hour and a half. I could do all of that. But sometimes just learning a little bit at a time and being able to take notes and this and that is more helpful than being on a live for like 2 hours, 3 hours, at least at this point of the game, the series. Um, Eventually, I know it's going to get longer, but right now, this is my second episode. I'm actually on here a little longer than I was last time, so it's already slowly getting longer. But like I said, tell a friend, please. Tell a friend and tell them to tell a friend. This is a no judgment zone. So there is no dumb question. Like I said earlier, if I don't know the answer, I will find out. I may not be able to give you the answer right then and there. I will try to comment um, and reach out. Maybe I can jot down your name or whatever and comment and say whatever. Or if not, just meet me on the next episode and I will make it my business to make sure that whatever question you ask me. So just say, for instance, if you ask me a question in episode 2, if someone was actually here, if you ask me a question in episode 2 and I don't know the answer, if I can get you the answer during the live episode, then episode 3, I will do my best to make sure I answer that question at the beginning of the live. So you can know that I did value your participation, your question. So you can know this is a teachable moment. We all learning. Like I said, no question is a dumb question because you may be asking a question where I might not be in that moment because I may be like here on page 3 and you're probably on page 25, because you're a little bit more advanced. And you may ask me a question, oh, do you know about such, or this, and then the third? Or, hey, my grandmother used to have this here. You know what that's for? I never knew what it was for. I used to say it about her sewing machine all the time, but I didn't know what it was for, you know? And if I don't know it, I can find out because I might be like, yeah, me too. I remember saying that. Girl, what color was it? Did it do such and such and such? Oh, yeah, my mama had the same one. I never knew what it was for. And I can probably shoot a text to somebody right then and there. And because I usually only use my phone for pictures. So to show pictures of whatever I'm talking about so you can have a visual. Some people on here learn by listening, some people learn by taking notes, some people learn by visual. So that's why I try to have my phone handy so I can show you pictures of whatever I'm talking about so you could envision it. So that way, like I said, if you go to Walmart, fabric store, wherever, and you see some of these things, um, you can it'll trigger. Oh, I remember learning that. I remember seeing that. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, I'm sitting up close and personal. And you sit up close and personal. And I'm but look, I bid you. I bid you. Anything that we're learning, go to your nearest fabric store. If you don't have one, use everybody in my got a Walmart. Somebody got a Walmart. Even if you why I said, well, no, I live in a little country town. I'm from a country town. Let me say it. Two stoplights and a Dollar Tree and a Dollar General. Um, I think Dollar Tree may have some stuff. Dollar General usually have some stuff, but it's usually on the end caps. Take your time. Look for that stuff. So because if you can pick it up and hold it and look at it in person, it may all come together of what you're learning on here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I bid you like go out. If you got a fabric store, you live in a nice town, you have a fabric store, go take your child. Look, let me tell you something. Sit down with your daughters, your sons. Because guess what? One of these days, mama gonna get older. Auntie gonna get older. Grandmother might be already older or gonna get older. Boy or girl, sit down. This do not make you girly. This does not make you girly. This make you um efficient. This make you independent. This make you know how to sew a button when it pop off your shirt. Because you might end up with nobody at first and you living on your own. Or like I said, whoever you usually get to, oh, sew my button on my shirt, fix my zipper on my pants. They may can't do it. Their eyes may be dim. They can't look. They can't see like they used to. But if you learn how to do these little things, you can do it on your own. Or you may end up dating somebody or marrying somebody that don't know how to do it. And you still have to do it yourself, or you can teach. You can do it yourself and teach them at the same time. This is a teachable moment. This is not to be boring. This is for us to be excited. So when we do get to that point of this, where we are actually making projects. And look, if you want to make projects on your own, look, knock yourself out. I am not telling you not to. Because I have some things in the back of my head I would like to do as well. Knock yourself out, but it's not going to stop me from taking my time and teaching this, or that. If you are doing a project and you stuck and you want to come on here and ask a question during the live, ask it. I promise you, I will pick up my phone and I will text the person that I feel like can answer it quickly and effectively, and I can, give you the answer. So this gonna be fun. I'm excited. Yes, I am. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I hope you are too. So I think I'm gone this time. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next go round. Episode 3 coming up. Bye.